Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. And today we are going to get anxious because we're ancient. We're going to go past lives with Scott Allen. Woohoo! Heather and I
Woohoo!
are happy to have Mr. Scott Allen here
Yes.
for Past Life Sunday. It seems like we're going to do this monthly for a while anyway. See how
Yeah.
it
We're trying,
goes.
well, try to get
Yeah.
together once a
Sounded
month.
good.
It's fun. We always have a great time. Hi in the chat room. Everybody from Facebook and YouTube. We're so glad to see you. Janita and Juno and Heather and who else? I can't. Indigo. Hi, Heather. G. Covington. Great. We've got lots of peoples in. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you all got to see. I think it was last Sunday we had Akashic Bob on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
I hope that you guys that were here with for Akashic Bob will use the questions that we talked about and the kinds of things to ask when you're looking for a past life for Akashic reading.
And I
Mhm.
was
Right?
kind of wondering from him, what are the kinds of things that you look for when you first start reading before anybody even asks questions?
Yeah.
What
What's
are the
your
kinds of
Um,
things that you
when you
look for?
first connect?
there's been, well, when I try to tap in, sometimes I start seeing lives already. Um,
Oh yeah, like the day before on a couple of people.
yeah, a couple people. Some have been quiet, but there's been quite a few that just certain lives or certain images start coming in already, which is very fascinating.
Hmm.
So it's like those records are already available if I can. It's like after I got the agreement, like, okay, yeah, we'll set up the time to do the reading, and all of a sudden I start seeing something, where they've been, what they're doing. And so it's like, it's already there, you
Yeah.
know, out there, and the fascination of it. But I like to use that process when doing a full one to just start tapping into what numbers I see of when your earth life has started, how many lives possibly, male and female. If you were a psychic type or just going through the motions of life and no clues, and just sense, and I just start sensing the world. I start looking at the globe, and then they'll just bring me to an area. Like I'll start seeing Georgia or Egypt or whatever, and then I just kind of see what I explain what I'm seeing. And
Uh
so
huh.
it's a fascinating process. But any past life can affect the current. If you, it's either a soul contract or something you haven't released. Like if
Right.
someone maybe possibly pass in a horrific accident or something, it might carry on to the next life. Like
Right.
if you're crushed in an accident, that pain of leaving could carry on to back
Sure.
issues or being
Yeah.
handicapped, or even if you, let's say someone died of some disease a long time ago in a past life before, that disease may carry on in a different way in
Right.
this life if you haven't surrendered to universe and let it all go, and you carry on that pain of whether it's the Spanish flu or
The
hepatitis,
trauma.
whatever,
It's
right?
the trauma.
Oh, if you don't let go of that trauma, it can carry on, and that's the biggest thing about lives is in our current lives is just surrendering to our own soul and letting go of the pain, and things can go better next time or even heal in this
That's
life.
actually quite. That's really pretty amazing what you just said. If we could just let go and let our
Just
soul
let
go
go.
do it and just let go of the fear.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we all watched Linda G, and she talked about her experience with cancer, and she surrendered to the
Yeah,
universe, and she was healed.
that's
You
true.
know, it may not happen for everyone, but that whole process is powerful. Just letting go.
Oh, absolutely
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Yeah.
You guys, he's going to do 3 or 4 readings this afternoon of past lives. So if you want to be included, please ask the question, your name, and what you want to know, if you have a question or if you just want to see what he picks up. And put it all in caps with emojis if you don't mind. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Jennifer Cooper, we didn't get to last time, if she would like her name included.
I'm so glad you remembered that. I do remember that.
So
Let me
we have
star
2 so
her.
far then, don't we?
I think we have
so
2 then. I see
just make,
Jennifer.
right. Just make sure it's your real name. You know, sometimes people have different names for their YouTube.
Okay, so Heather had a question. Would those lives readily accessible be the most important to our current lives? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Sometimes not. Is what I get.
Sometimes not. I think it has your, like when I did yours, her, I think you were more curious about where you've been rather than what affects your current. So I think that's where I was going more so than what's affecting you now. So that's an important topic of when you're doing that, to ask that in questions if it doesn't come up.
Absolutely.
But there's been other ones where I found a place, and then I start seeing or describing how it may affect you now, what makes the person, like rejecting, authoritative figures, or that makes you more aware and a deeper person inside if you reject the evil or reject the ego. That could make you how you would define yourself now.
Yeah, I was never very good with authority. I thought that was a bad thing. Now I know it was a good thing.
Yeah.
That's
It was
great.
like when I learned a lot myself through a past life regression, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, me too.
Because you're seeing it. It's like when you do a past life here, you're talking about clips. You just kind of see glimpses. But when I did my past life regression, there you're in a hypnotic state, and you almost see a movie.
Yeah, that's how I saw it.
So you can describe it a little better and see how it plays out. Like
mine was completely from observation. I didn't feel any emotion whatsoever in my past life regression, the one that was hypnotic. No regression. It was like I was just observing a scene. It wasn't
right.
No feeling.
There was no feeling into it at all. Just like, oh, right, okay. But there was no emotion.
Right. After my first one, I realized that I should have that aspect of it's just information. It shouldn't affect me, because the first scene I seen, it was affecting me.
Right.
It was like I was in the process and feeling it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember shaking.
I didn't feel that at all. I was just an observer.
But the hypnotist I was going to was unfamiliar with this task. It was the first time she ever did that. She was always about, helping people quit smoking or get over trauma. It was never past life. So it was an experiment for her, an experiment for me. And it worked, but she didn't. But she didn't like talk about the process that nothing's going to affect you. I didn't say that. So it's kind of like we were both going into it naive.
Yeah, beginners.
So I just told myself the second time, or even after that one happened, I'm like, no, I'm not going to feel this. It's just information. Right. But yeah, it's been a process, and it's really been a neat process to learn about yourself, what affects you, why.
I agree.
Why certain souls come into your life now to solve that contract or conflict you may have had with another, or just continue with a compassionate soul you've been with before to finish out your life or be a companion.
The information is so helpful. It's so helpful to our human experience in this life. It's amazing to me. And it's just fascinating, all the different places I've been and people I've been with over and over and over again. And I can pretty much tell in this life if I've been with been around somebody before in a past life now, because it's just become so obvious. The attraction that you have mentally to somebody like that is just phenomenal.
Or someone someone feels like a familiar, right?
People feel very familiar, and it's kind of interesting to see what karma you have with them in this life. And
it is fascinating.
I find it fascinating anyway. I don't know what's going on in the chat room. I've got some questions already. If you'd like to start. The first one is Jan, and she also asked a question a little bit later. Is my seeing faces morphing when my eyes are closed related to my past lives? Let me start that.
Is my seeing faces morphing?
When her eyes are closed, related to her past life. And that's Jan. Let me go start. And I also want somebody down here, just in case. Susan.
Morphing. So weird. I gotta think about what morphing is. You mean like shape shifting, or seeing
shapes moving around and changing? But I think it's all in gray. Can you respond, Jan?
Morphing.
Here's the question.
Morphing when my eyes are when your eyes are closed. Okay. Faces changing expressions. Okay. I think you're seeing the true person, like a fake facade of who they are. So, like if they're changing, you see someone and they morph into something different. I think you're seeing the true person, whether it's negative, positive. It's kind of like a reading an aura. I think you're like reading their aura, but the true person. It's not like a shapeshifter type of feeling, like a past life, but it's a gift to see the true person. Is what I'm getting here.
Okay, she was our first past life reading too.
Okay. Jan. I'm getting reference to Kentucky and a coal miner's daughter.
Wow.
Are you anywhere in the Eastern Midwest or whatever? But I'm seeing like your father in another life was like worked the mines or something, and the difficult struggles. He seemed to be angry. The hard work, distant from family, so maybe it transpires to a unhappy family relationship in this life, but it doesn't feel like a good no, but relatives from Tennessee. Okay, you could be been from there, but it feels like that area. But it feels like it revel into like difficulties in family. I'm wondering if you have problems with siblings or even relatives, because there feels to be a disconnect within certain family members. Some of the karma of contracts that maybe need to resolve, because it mainly comes from family dynamics and not having a good father type system from there. So that's what I'm getting for you.
Interesting. Did she have any response?
She said yes. Absolutely spot on. Oh my God. That is crazy. So with any of our lives, dissect who we have problems with. And if you can't resolve it in real life, do it in spirit.
Oh, I love that.
Like, let's say you have a cousin that's totally angry, you can't get along at, family reunions or whatever, or disagreements. Just, I forgive you for being who you are. I send you love and light. I don't want our contract to continue. And let spirit do the work. And if it's meant to be to come back for them, apologize, accept it with all love and heart. But you can absolutely do work with souls through spirit. Just let it go and give it to the universe.
I've actually worked with my brothers in spirit to complete the contracts with them, and it has worked very well.
It does. I mean, it's even with job situations. I've told people, if you're having problems with bosses, managers, whatever the case may be, and you can't resolve it in life, just manifest how you like the situation to improve in fairness. Nothing evil, nothing bad. Just like, I would like my work environment to be better. I want some respect. So you just put it out there. In numerous cases, it has worked. Like one person, I told her to do this. Within 2 weeks, her mean boss suddenly came down with like depression or something, and she needed 2 weeks off of work. She took 2 weeks leave for mental health. And it was never greater, and she actually came back a better person.
Wow. That's great.
That's cool.
It's work using spirit, manifesting however you want it.
It's true. It does work.
Okay,
let's see. Right.
Do you have any cards for Jan?
Oh yeah. Do you want to do a card?
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that'd be great.
I pulled 3 cards.
Okay.
Okay. I got three of coins, which is follow your passion. Knight of coins, which is putting out kindness to others. Follow your meticulous road, but do not run away from the truth. So like, there's always a better way. So like, if you have issues with other people, you can always change your path. So that's what
Absolutely. I think. Beautiful.
And I got union, and that usually has to do with love, but I think it also has to do with your love of following what you need that you love doing. So keep doing it.
Follow your bliss.
Exactly.
Follow your love. Yeah. That's kind of like the Knight of Coins is trying to say.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Exactly. Okay, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
I still wanted this because I got you up here. We're so sorry you didn't get it last time. So.
Oh no, I was getting drained. It was at the end. It takes a lot of energy to try to tap into the universe like that, akashically. It's
I
even
can't even imagine with the chat room that we have how hard it must be to, with all the energy flying around here, to tap into just
one person.
Yeah.
Oh, it's helpful. It's helpful. It's only 14, 15 rather than 500, that kind of thing.
Well, absolutely.
It's like a nice little crowd and everyone's curious, and Jennifer Cooper. Jennifer. Where do we know to go for Jennifer? I'm almost sensing a life down by you guys, like the Florida Keys or islands or something.
Cool.
Mhm.
There's something to do with explorer. Like actually going in the water. This is a long time ago, so like you might be. Tough to explain because there's not like scuba gear back in the 1500s or whatever. But there's some kind of exploration going on, and I'm showing like pottery, like diving and stuff. Not a pirate, but it's actually like almost like an archaeologist kind of feeling.
Oh, cool.
But I was getting this sense of Florida, but like islands down there. So it might be Key West or just below, which is kind of weird.
Well,
It could be the Bahamas.
or there's a lot of not really deep waters here, and then of course I think they've had snorkeling type things for longer than diving gear.
Yeah.
So maybe some kind of a snorkel.
This area was sponge. There were huge sponge diving all around here.
Yeah,
That's just where Key West originally, besides pirates.
and they learned to hold their breath.
Mm-hmm. They didn't use gear
Yeah.
back before it was available. They just held their breath a long time.
And if they're going, if she's diving and
It almost
finding,
feels like a treasure. It almost feels like a treasure hunter kind of
Ooh,
feeling.
yeah.
cool.
yeah,
Because like I'm seeing, like I said, I'm seeing pottery and maybe pieces of gold or treasure hunting or maybe even
oh, she's checking out the ships that
ships that may have been
yeah,
crashed or something. Yeah, I mean, but it feels like it's just off an island, but it's not too far from the bottom of Florida. It's like really weird.
right.
So I don't know if you've ever had any need or feel the want of keepsakes and like treasures of going to yard sales or something like that, but it feels like you're a treasure hoarder kind of feeling. I don't know, but that's where they took me, as like a treasure hunter. Hey, Wiki.
That's another big
Industry
in Key West was treasure hunting. We have museums to it.
Yeah. Things that people have found diving offshore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would think that's how the early residents really made
their money.
Sponge diving and.
Let's see, a 3 card for Jennifer.
Did we get anything back from Jennifer on that one?
Not yet. Let's see if she says anything about being a treasure hunter kind of thing at yard sales or whatever.
Was she male or female?
Could have been either.
Male or female? I think female.
I got female too.
Yeah.
Explorer. Cool. Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm getting explorer cards. Six of Cups. That's all about the past, learning, childhood memories, things you love to do. And then the Page of Cups, looking for possibilities, new adventures, and then the World, a world type traveler.
Cool cards.
Success, new journeys, completion of journeys. It's a lovely few cards there.
That is.
And I got the power card, so evidently she had the agility and the whatever she needed to be able to do that diving. So she had, and she was successful at it because it made her powerful.
Feels that way. That world card is very similar to that too. It's like with the Page of Cups, that's all about success from new adventures. So what you
We so
do?
love new adventures. Love new adventures. Let's see who's next. I believe it is G. Covington, and I don't know her name. Can you
What's
tell us your first name, please? I know she's told me and I've forgotten, but hopefully she's here.
Genevieve?
Oh, beautiful.
Gorgeous
Beautiful
name.
name.
Beautiful name.
Genevieve, is that French?
It would be. Or English.
Genevieve. Beautiful name. I like it.
It is a beautiful name.
Okay, Genevieve. Kind of weird because as soon as I said French, I'm feeling like 400 to 600 years ago. It feels like you were a antiquities dealer or like a what do you call them? Someone that works at a museum or something. Like takes care of a house of art and
Curator?
a curator. Yeah, that type of feeling. But this is a long time ago in like a mausoleum or some kind of. So this is, I'm being shown, this is near the border of Spain and France, but in France. I'm not seeing it like in Rome or, that's Italy, but, Paris. This is a little farther down. Yeah, curator type, yeah.
She says she does love art.
There's a fascination for fine art, care. Have you ever done like making frames or for art or some kind of thing like that? Because it feels like it just feels like care of making sure things are safe, they're stored and protected. So there feels like a lot of protection kind of stuff going on here with fine frames. No, okay, but this is what I'm seeing with this time frame. It's like an appreciation for nice things and not letting things go to waste or destroyed. Like if you got a flower, you do everything you could to keep it alive for as long as you could, kind of feeling. There's a lot of protection there. You have a lot of protection within you. That's about what I'm getting there.
Maybe a gallery owner or an art restorer or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a gallery owner. It seems like you were like ahead of it, but you took care of things in delicate manners.
She loves good food and good wine. Well, who does? I'm with you, girlfriend.
Well, that comes from
Maybe
area,
that French wine.
I'm wondering if she was some kind of a shipper and she was making sure that she was packing everything up so that it was very, very safe.
Like a shipping agent of some sort?
Yeah.
Does that ring? Does that resonate? It's some type of
making sure that everything would get there where they need to get safely.
So like I said, I'm sensing 1400-ish, 1500-ish. So I mean, that was the age of art, Renaissance kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good food, good wine.
So how I do this, I just grab the deck, I shuffle up, and just randomly feel where to select 3. That's how I'm doing it.
Right.
So
She loves to be organized. So you got that organizational stuff in for sure.
Okay, that seems to be who you be.
Who you be?
And you use your intuition when you're doing things like that to make sure things are right. That's the card I got, was intuition.
Cool.
It seems like you've learned quite a bit in your lives. So first I get the deception card, the Seven of Swords. It's like you've been deceived many times, and you're running away from the truth, and you have all these conflicts. And so then we come into renewal, which is Judgment card. So you're coming of age of past and present, figuring out what's right, releasing judgments upon yourself and others, and then this life you're finding balance and strength and prosperity. You take things into more rational modes, standing in your own power, and you're finding that this go around.
Lovely.
Great.
Okay.
Did you have any cards for her, or did I miss
She
them?
pulled the intuition
Intuition.
card.
She uses her intuition a lot to help with
You
that.
were ahead of me. I was concentrating.
I know you were.
That's all right. Let's see who else we've got up here.
Excellent.
If that resonates, you guys, let us know for sure.
And Guinevere, I love that name too. Or Genevieve.
Oh, I do. Okay. This is for Miss Epiphany Noel.
And that's a correct name, right?
I believe so.
Epiphany. Epiphany. Another beautiful name.
I know it is, isn't it? She's a beautiful young lady, too. She does fire Reiki.
Oh, does she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
She sit, last year she sit through a fire Reiki, and I'll be damned if I couldn't smell the smoke. When I clicked on it, I was like, how did she do that? Seriously, I could smell the smoke from the fire. I was impressed. I was way impressed.
For some reason, I'm feeling itching in my eye. Okay. Epiphany. Where do we want to go for Epiphany?
Oh, and G. Covington says, yes, I have found my power, and thank you.
Blessings. Sweet.
Sweet. I don't know, Wiki. We'll have to see, but I will star you. I haven't seen any new ones before.
Yeah. So make sure you put your real name too, Wiki.
Yes.
We'll try to get to you. We'll see what the energy flows.
Yes. Epiphany says that is her name.
I'm not positive of the area, but I'm getting Canada area, towards the middle east, and I'm thinking you were a psychic medium in the 1800s.
Wow.
You were pretty powerful. I don't feel any bad things about this, and where persecution for this, it was actually a good place to be at. A very spiritual community. It's like, I don't know, it's not quite Toronto or very east. It's like if you go like Michigan straight up, kind of where I'm kind of sensing, but more towards the east. I'm sensing you helped a lot of people. it was more than this mediumship reads. It was like counseling. It was spiritual past. You're very connected. It feels pretty powerful, like what you're doing. And this life I'm getting is an extension of this one. That life. So it's almost like you may be an untapped resource. Just keep working on your gifts because I think they can explode. What I'm sensing here, you may have a long way to go with. Your picture looks pretty young yet. A lot of learning for you. You can. I wouldn't be surprised if I get a magician card here.
Well, I got the power card. She's really, really powerful.
She is powerful. I picked up Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. I love these cards. Yeah, Epiphany. You got the power.
Oh, no magician, but I got the sun.
Oh, Lordy.
Yes, what?
The sun.
Ah,
lovely.
Yes, you're right.
Ace of Wands, universal energies, power, the sun. And here we go again. Six of Cups. You've been there, done this. So the Ace of Wands is time to take action. Fearless, opportunities. And the sun is gratitudes, the blessings of life. Everything works out as you plan. Amazing ideas. The sun is also universal. It's part of our galaxy, the sun is. Beautiful reading.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. That is a beautiful reading. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Whoa, just feeling lots of activations right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I got chills on that one too, Epiphany.
Keep expanding. Generally, most people don't. It's like I didn't realize what I had going on till when was that? My 40s. So if you start young, roll with it.
Amen.
Yep.
You're so welcome, Epiphany. That was just a beautiful reading. Okay. We were asked what cards we were using, and I'm using Kyle Gray's Angel Cards and Ancestors because I love all the shamanic cards, any of those. And they are beautiful.
And the
beautiful messages.
The ones I've been pulling are the Return for the Spirit.
There you go. I can see that now. So.
Yeah, I just like using the fairy deck. It's got good messages, and that one, or I've been experimenting with this. That I can't remember what the deck's called, but
I forget so fast.
I know.
It's Archangel. It's like an Archangel tarot deck with powerful messages.
Beautiful,
right?
Yeah, it's a deck that Allison sent me for her Akashic reading. Susan Morris
I love these cards.
Been told timelines is my gift, but only at a small peak. Timelines. Okay, Susan.
That's HYHR.
I think it's the records. I'd love a reading. Susan Morris, been told many times, told timelines is my gift, but only had a small peek at the records. Where should I start? Ooh, let's see what we got for Susan.
I'm seeing you in California, and this seems like a recent life. I'm seeing a man. It feels like you're a researcher or like early exploration of oil or something like that, because it feels like they're kind of showing me like an oil rig, but out in the ocean. There might have been, it's like exploration of starting, the internal combustion engine of how it's used and exploration.
Interesting.
So, like, it's almost like you're a creator or a scientist or something like that. It feels like middle upper California area. I think Sacramento's upper. It kind of feels like that area. Like LA and all of them are kind of like down, I think, but it feels upper in that kind of area. So this would be
like an engineer of some sort.
Yeah, that kind of feeling. So it feels like there's a creative side to you in that aspect. Research. It feels like you may have been part of, discovering uses of oil.
Wow.
For the moving forward. Sometime in the 1800s, like there's that. I don't remember when the
like a geologist, maybe.
Like a geologist, there is.
Yeah, he says geologist.
Research going on. I'm not sensing it like all in the ocean or something, but there's different parts, like in and out. There's some kind of research going on.
Interesting.
I don't know. For some reason, you might not have totally enjoyed that life, though. Because I'm not sensing like I always thought myself as a healer or teacher. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm sensing you didn't. I don't know if it was an accident or what's going on here, because I don't sense you. It may have been then, but there's some kind of rejection of rocks or crystals. And it's like you don't really connect with them for some reason, or you don't connect to them properly. It might be blocked or something, but maybe you may have died from this in a bad way, like an explosion, or they're using dynamite or something to break open. So it may be going to that route where you were creative and exploring, but it ended in a bad way because I'm being shown a rejection of, crystals or something. It's weird. Weird. I feel like we need to. What was the original question?
That she's good with timelines.
Timelines. Wait a minute. Let me go back to it real quick.
Yeah.
Or she's been told she's good at timelines, but she doesn't know where to start. I drew a card on that, and for her to do that, first of all, she has to consider herself worthy of working with them, because she doesn't. And I think you're blaming yourself for the explosion that you're talking about, and you're curious because you want to know what happened.
Interesting.
Or something like that.
But you are worthy of looking through the timelines. You have to convince yourself first.
Well, I wasn't going to say that card again, but the medicine mother came up again. Listen to your intuition.
Makes
sense. Going to pull a different card. I was like, no, but that card came up again, and it was supposed to be. So,
yeah.
Continued work on your abilities and your craftsmanship. You will have celebration. But I'm sensing work with I'm getting a male ancestor or a male guide here. Work on giving and receiving information, because in the past I have a lot of betrayal and arguments and unfulfilled success with the Five of Swords. Everything moving forward is fine. A lot of threes, could be 3 years, 3 months, with the Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles.
Double threes.
In the end, but the first part is, it's like the Five of Swords is emptiness, strife, arguments, tensions. It's all, it's all the bad swords. One situation that's in the past. So then I have coming in with the male angel, giving, receiving information, and then I have success, continued work. So it's there if you let go of any, what do you want to call it? Doubts, fears, let it all go. And you can find your timelines you've been requesting.
Yeah. Have to release. I hope that resonated, Susan.
Not, she just put something on
Oh, wait a minute.
a question or a statement. I recently had an HSQ session.
I recently had a
HSQ session, okay, where I thought I had created blockages. Wow. It could be all relevant. Same. It could be a recurring theme where these blockages are concerned. If we, I think it's definitely with. Jan says there's underwater volcanoes off the coast of there. It could very well something like that too. Well, it's like trauma we don't know about and how we've passed, whether it be a train accident, an airplane crash, whatever it may be. Traumatic times or endings. It's kind of like our soul's like, what just happened? Or if you're in severe pain for a long time and just then you finally let go, that can carry on those kind of feelings. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate,
bad.
But if we let go of all of that and just remember in this lifetime, we all have our reasons. It all has its course. I feel most horrified for the people that live with dementia at the end of their life because they don't know what's going on. They get this anger going on and don't know. That's a horrible thing to carry on into the past when you don't have the faculties at the end, and it's like it's bad energy, to go out.
Yeah, I was able to pull my mom back to remembering who I was. And she knew who my older brother was, but I'm not certain she knew my younger brother that much because he just wasn't around. But I agree with you, not knowing what's going on. And I could explain something to her one day, and the next day she'd ask me the same question, and I'd explain it again because she couldn't remember. And even though it was comforting to her for the answer all the time, it didn't stay with her, so you had to answer it again.
Keep repeating and repeating.
Yeah. So I agree with you. It's really rough for them.
It's painful. It's tough because they don't know, and then another time they'll come back and kind of be normal for a while, and then it's all lost.
Yeah, exactly. It was so hard on her
for a few minutes and then gone again.
Yeah, because she would come back, and she knew that this was happening, and it was so upsetting to her.
Definitely. Lisa Rhodes.
Yeah.
So when I look at how many past lives, they just show me a number.
Susan says, thank you so much. Gave her a lot to think about.
Rock and roll. Blessings. Okay. They're showing me the number 110. So in the sense of what I've been finding, that's kind of on the middle range or young soulish. 110 would put you
Hmm?
About 5,500 to 6,000 BC is what I'm sensing here. And so it's like, it feels like you're the new souls that came in after the ancients, what I'm sensing here. You're like, nah, it is a lot. I mean, the youngest soul I've sensed has probably been 4,000 years ago. Like 2,000 before. So I
That's
haven't
the
really
youngest you had is
younger.
4,000.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Younger.
Huh.
The new implants of souls on this planet. I mean, there had to be more souls come in, right? Because back then we've had what, 1 million people on the planet, and now we
Yeah,
have
exactly.
5 billion. So there had to be new transplants at some point, right? Keep coming in.
Hmm.
Of course, we're in a more loving community, and I haven't done a reading on a Trump supporter per se, an unevolved
I
person.
can't say we have either. I'm not sure they would understand what it was.
I'm not sure they would be watching anything on our channels.
No, I ought to try that guy who's that QAnon conspiracist that just got sentenced to. Well, no, he isn't sentenced. He got convicted on all counts. He hasn't been sentenced yet, but he very well could get years. I just try to tap into his name and soul and see how many lives he's actually had. Just for giggles to see what I sense.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would be. Are we going to go to her last one, or just leave it at how many past lives she's had?
Oh, I can go farther. I can try here.
See if we can do a little deeper.
Juno says just under 8 billion. So yeah,
8 billion.
7 times. So these souls either had to be created or came from other planets. My sense is they came from other planets.
Oh, yeah.
Dying planets, and then these souls come here because we have all these starseeds coming in.
Mm-hmm. Right. And they are actually offshoots of those who are here. So, it's just growing.
We all came from somewhere out there.
I know. Yeah. There was that interesting topics that we started to get to when I was on with Heather, and never got to the question, but it's like, how did everything start? It's kind of like we sense like humans here are DNA enhanced extraterrestrials created, right? Mm-hmm. But how did the extraterrestrials get started? Or how did this whole
Scott, we know. Remember the orange planet?
Right. But honestly, how does this Earth planet, with everything available on it, create? Was it just a magnet ball that just kind of expanded out, and all of a sudden, poof, you have water and all the minerals you need? It's just so fascinating.
I don't know. Maybe that's somewhere we need to go one of these days and find out.
One of these days.
Yeah.
Maybe we could send Heather into a remote healing mode and she can go that far back.
I don't know about that.
That would be cool.
Draw it.
Oh, Lisa.
Okay. Lisa. Who else did we have?
Well, I'm going to see if I can find anything else from Lisa quick.
He's gonna
inside the lives.
Thank you, all you moderators in there, everybody in the chat room. I so appreciate you answering questions and putting in people's YouTube channels. I really appreciate it. Love all you monitors and all you people watching as well, of course.
And helping.
But the moderators, sorry.
Yeah.
They're monitors.
Yeah.
I can't remember the time frame, but I'm getting reference to like near New Mexico, and he's saying something about a Mexican American War. I can't remember when that happened, but there seems to be some kind of war here, and I'm actually seeing you as a Mexican here. Like coming up, there's some kind of war going on. When would this? I'm thinking maybe 1700s kind of feeling.
War happened.
But yeah, there was like a war or battles of territory and whatnot. I'm sensing you were actually Mexican and you died rather early in this fight.
Well, that rather sucks.
Yeah. I'm sensing you're maybe 30-ish. It may resonate to something that you had in your own life at that time, or coming up in this time, however old you are, or whatever. But
1848 was the date of the Mexican-American War.
Was that when it was?
It started 46 to 48. 1846 to 48. So
well, whatever's going on here seems a little bit before this.
Right.
So there might be been something brewing beforehand.
Skirmishes.
Yeah, skirmishes, a little bit, something brewed up to make this happen. It feels a little bit before, maybe 20, 30 years, something like that.
Thanks, Juno.
Thanks, Juno. But yeah, this feels before because I'm definitely sensing more 1700-ish late rather than actually when it happened. I mean, there's always seems to be like tensions coming up or whatever, but I mean, it doesn't matter where, and why, but we all experience many different things.
Everything. We all experience everything. And
That's
have been everything to everybody at one time or another throughout our many lives. Because isn't that kind of the purpose? We're here to experience everything. So we've all been that asshole. We've all been the angel. It's just the way we do. How do people get in touch with Scott for private readings?
Everything is in every single reader's YouTube person's description. It's all in email. Some have
all the emails, all their
everything is in the description. Links. So so going back to
it's even in the description of this one.
Yeah.
I think it's at the top.
I guess, but yeah, so I did 2 past life regressions with that lady. The first one, I see myself as a slave getting whooped by a guy, and then
is this after you learn not to feel it?
Yeah, that's the one I felt it. Oh. So that was like, no more of that, right? And then I see myself as a woman, and that my current 2 kids were the same souls back then, but they died of a disease. And I ended up being a nun for the rest of my life, taking care of kids. I seen another life. I was a 1-star general in the Civil War. And another one.
Side?
What's that?
For which side?
North or south?
For the north.
The north. I was from Ohio. And I see myself getting shot and falling off a horse. And then another one on a water planet, where I was actually like a mermaid type person.
Mars. I can so see you as a mermaid.
no fins. There was, what was the other one? I have it written down, but there was something else specific. Slave, a nun. Yeah, that one was really cool though with the nun, because I was showing like a Western type scene and almost like Little House on the Prairie. My husband sought revenge. I ended up getting hung. Then my kids died, and then I got a tree struck by lightning. And then I got
born under a bad sign in that life.
yeah, and then I had a near death experience. Then I seen something that looked like Moses, and then they brought me back and said I'm supposed to serve the rest of my life, and that's when I decided to. For like 50 years, I was a nun taking care of kids.
Wow.
So that's what I was being shown. So I'm like, oh,
That's
that was
wild.
that was probably the most powerful movie scene I seen in my regression. So it's like we experienced so many things.
Okay, let's go back to Lisa in New Mexico.
So yeah, it was just it feels like there was some kind of war battle going on, and you experienced a quick death in a fight. Not really quick, but you had approximately late 20s or 30s, accident. And what I kind of found out too is like every theme to my last regressions always happened in the 30s. It seems like a lot of our problems happen in the 30s, always around 35-ish, and that kind of thing.
People's age 30s, not the 1930s.
Right, the age of 30. Trauma always seems to happen, at least in mine, possibly in the 30s. They always seem to be
That's
about 30s.
interesting. My past life, I was in my 30s, in one of mine that I saw, where I was like a jazz player in a zoot suit, shot my lover and her boyfriend. That was different. But I mean, I had on that whole hat and shoes and all that. But I was definitely in my 30s. I wonder why that's the age. Okay. Did we get anything from Lisa on that?
Highlight Lauren's quick.
Okay.
This no. That this is my first time. No, not possible. I don't believe that at all.
No.
To have a first life now on Earth, I'm going to toss cards on that. That's hard to believe. Maybe I'm wrong. My first sentence is like, oh no. Let me see. Earthwise for Lauren. I'm getting about the same as Lisa. About 120, 125, going back about 7,000 years, 6,000 years. Yeah, you may have actually had quite a few in other galaxies recently. This might be your first time back now after some experiences away. That does feel right, but not first time Earth. But it does feel like to me you've had some away from Earth for quite a few years, or lifetimes, and you've now returned this time around from being away. But the first on Earth now, no. I'm sensing, yeah, you've been Africa. I'm sensing Africa. You've had quite a few lives in Southern Africa, and then moving your way up around at the start about 7,000 years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's just a strange statement to be the first time or a new soul. Nah, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all as far as the first soul coming down at 19, whatever you were born. That's just I don't know. I don't want to disgrade Dr. Gale's read, but that's really strange. I never sensed that at all, that there's new souls coming on. I'm going to toss a few cards for Lauren.
Okay.
Well, these popped out. Better have them.
Okay.
says you've had setbacks. So I think that is very true here because I got Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. It's all about new. So that would make a lot of sense that you've had times away and now you're in a new path, new discoveries. It's all about learning over again. And then Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So there's been painful paths and misfortune. So your Three of Pentacles is all about gaining abilities. So it's like new gaining abilities from misfortunes from the past. So that would make a lot of sense.
And I drew the feline, which means that you've seen a lot of things. You're just waiting for the right time to jump in. But you've seen a lot of stuff.
I pulled the Druid. Hold the space. Beautiful card.
I can see her doing that as a cat. Just watching.
I think cats are very good at holding space.
Okay.
He's pulled his cards for. What did your card show?
Oh, I think he's just waiting.
What did yours card show, Scott?
I already said that. Everything new.
Oh.
Page of
Oh.
Wands, Page of Coins, gaining abilities, and Ten of Swords.
Sorry about that. Okay, so we're ready to go to the next.
That just confirms the senses that there has been a lot of new things starting over in this life.
Right. No. Do we know what Wiki's real name is?
Yeah, very, very helpful.
Wiki, can you give us your name, true name? Because I don't know what it is.
Vicky. Her name's Vicky.
Vicky. Okay.
Juno posted something. The construction of the first defense structure of Mexico began in 1776. We were talking about New Mexico and American.
Yes, that's right.
War. Cool. Thanks, Juno, for that. I knew there was something going on late.
I didn't realize the conflict had been going on that long.
Yeah, neither do I. I just go what I see. There's so many things that are like, really, I've been there, or really, I've been there.
One thing I wanted to highlight was what Lauren said. Let's see. Well, first of all, she says this.
Vicky?
No, before. Wasn't it Lauren you read for a little bit ago? Or am I wrong? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's Victoria.
Okay.
Yeah, Wiki is Victoria. Victoria. Weird.
I love that.
It feels like we got a lot of mid-range souls in here today.
Mid-range.
Right, meaning.
I understand. In the
like that, meaning just over 100 lives. I feel the same thing here. 120, 130. Immediately, I just needed to say that. It's like, not ancient, been around the block. Not Lemurians, that kind of feeling. They've started after the new civilization started.
Right.
Okay.
Probably after the flood.
Yes. These are after flood, after the change of the, the continents as we see it now.
Juno also says a lightly fortified military outpost known as El Presidio, it's still there. De San Francisco in Spanish was built just inside of the Golden Gate to provide protection for the garrison soldiers. Cool.
So much information. Victoria. I'm getting Scandinavian energy. So we're talking like Finland, Sweden area up in there. What were you doing there? Victoria, do you happen to suffer from migraines or something? Because I'm suddenly starting to get a migraine or pressure, or it relates to this, right? They're not showing me any kind of life there, except as a child, some kind of no.
Did you get shot in the head?
Not in their life. They're not showing me like living to. What do they call that? Well, I'm some reason I'm getting instant pressure in my head. If the parents feel sad. I don't know the time frame. It's like unknown disease. What do they call that when your head expands?
Like
Like a water,
hydroencephalitis.
like kind of like they call it water head or something like that. Or,
hydroencephalitis.
Yeah, I think you may have passed from this kind of problem because I'm feeling expansion. You're only maybe 8 years old, but yeah, I just suddenly started getting. I don't know if someone in your family, descendants, but it may be a trait. If I don't, like I said, I have no clue why this is coming through. Or it's either migraine, but I'm just feeling like expansion. A small child didn't live past 8 years old, some kind of problem. It feels like Scandinavia a couple centuries ago, quite a few centuries ago. They didn't know how to treat this.
Hydrocephalus is what it's called. They now put a tube in your brain to help drain the excess fluid.
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, it's just like I said, I really don't have a clue why they need to show me this. It may be something to do with family or something may come up, or maybe just someone who's got severe migraines. But this, go away. I don't need a migraine.
Ring your bell.
All right.
Get rid of it.
Weird.
Yes, Wiki, I like that expanding mind.
Expanding. Now when I sense sickness and a passing at 8 years old, that doesn't seem to be expanding mind. It may relate to family, something in the family, traits passed down. Maybe if it wasn't you, there's always a reason. I don't know. I wish it was something spectacular, but that's what they told me.
Let's pull her cards.
Oh yeah, some beautiful cards.
I actually pulled one, the Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. I'm not sure if that's appropriate or not for this life.
Keep the faith.
Cool. Thanks, Victoria. I got environmental concerns will bring light to something in the family. 10 of Cups, the Sun, and 9 of Wands. So it's like defending yourself within nature, body, and spirit. Some kind of bad energy will come to light. The Sun expansion, and this is all about family and your own self with 10 of Cups. People within. Strange. So keep an eye on something within the family. I mean, Priscilla got something about medicine. I'm getting issues, environmental possible within family. Just keep an eye out on and catch anything soon. Strange.
Pretty. Did you already read yours too?
Mm-hmm.
What did you get, Heather?
I said it's faith. She just needs to have faith in everything that's being said. Keep the faith.
I missed
Keep
that one.
the faith.
I think I can only do one more.
That'll be Ruth.
After that.
Yeah.
Yep, we're almost in an hour and a half, so that's good.
Yeah. We just do Ruth.
Ruth. Okay. For some reason, I'm told pull cards first. At least I need to.
Blue Ocean, we'll do you next time.
That's fine. That's fine, Victoria. No problem. It had to come out for a reason. Something. It may be something you may find in the future about, if your grandchildren or in your family or whatever. Something to be aware of.
Blue Ocean, we do this, or anybody that wanted questions asked, we do this once a month, usually the third or fourth
month, yeah.
And we'll catch you next time if we didn't catch you this time.
Time to renew. I'm getting Knight of Cups and Justice here. It feels like I needed to bring up cards first. So Knight of Cups is, love expansion, giving, falling in love, but it's also kind of a need to stay grounded with any emotional experience. And then Justice is make sure you're balanced and fair outcomes. Not sure why I needed to pull that first. Okay. Ruth, they're telling me you've been a guide. You guided someone before. You've been an angel. Because I'm seeing you up in the air. I'm seeing you kind of going like this. I seriously believe, I'm sensing like you've been an angel before, or no. I think you've guided others before. You're very old soul. It may have been a couple lives ago, but I think you guided someone on Earth. You were guiding. And it's not like you're starting the process over, but you had to take some steps back. Because once you're in that energy, you've had that love attached, that energy. So when you came back down now, you needed to reevaluate and balance your centers, so you weren't so attached, but you're balanced. I'm definitely sensing angelic energy because it's they're kind of like giving me this symbol of an angel, like you're floating there and you're just and connected and in spirit. So it feels like 2 lives ago you were guiding another for about maybe 30 years. You were guiding another human being. It may have been someone in your soul family, a young male. It feels like for 30 years you were guiding a young male from like birth to 30 years, and then he was like, okay, it's my time to come back to
Does she
Earth.
have a son now? Is it her son now that she was guiding in the past? I'm getting it was her son or
It could
a
have been,
son.
yeah, it very well could have been the same soul at that point, like 2 lives ago, approximately 200 plus years ago. So we're, like year 50 kind of feeling. I mean, we always stay in the same soul family. It's like even now, I'm sensing twice now. I've had 2 different family members guide me. One I sensed was my aunt Ida, and now my great grandmother. So this happens. That family guides family, our soul family, and that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense because the Knight of Cups is my angelic card. This is the card I represent. Guides, angelic energy.
right.
The Knight of Cups, that gift of love from above. I sense that, and then it makes a lot of sense with balance because once you're in that space of the universe and heaven and attaching that knowledge and that energy to another human being, there's a total adjustment,
There
you know,
is.
Mhm.
as you're actually teaching as like an ascended master rather than being just in spirit learning.
That's
Yeah.
interesting because when I first met her, I always think of her as I always feel her angelic energy since the first time I met her online anyway.
Yeah. And the card I
But
pulled was contact, which goes in right with what you're talking about.
yeah,
Oh,
She does
good
have
Lord.
contact.
yep. And I got shapeshifter, unveil your gifts because girlfriend, you got them.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I know
good
she's
Lord.
working.
That is crazy.
Hmm.
Ooh,
That's really funny. As soon as you said angelic, I got chills because I feel that energy around her whenever I see her, speak to her.
that is
Interesting.
not. That is a blessing to know that, Ruth.
Yeah.
That is. Wow. Okay.
I don't have a son, but oh yeah.
I'm
More
sorry,
likely
I
to
didn't
the
see
past.
it.
Yes.
Um, it doesn't mean you didn't. It doesn't mean you didn't lose a soul. If you have children now,
It
they're
may have been in a different lifetime.
a different lifetime or
Mhm.
right. Um, I mean, I've sensed many women, had a brief conception, but then just absorbed or lost. And
Hmm.
these are souls that was gonna come in, but decided, well, maybe not the right time, and then went back. So
Yeah.
I've sensed many. I've sensed many, different readings. Like this one lady I read for, and she has 2 sons. I'm like, I just start seeing this little girl, this like 4 to 6 year old girl. I'm like, but it's not in a life. I'm like, so I
Hmm.
just asked her, I'm like, did you have a miscarriage like at 3.5 months or something? Because I had this presenting as a 4 to 6 year old girl next to you and calling you mommy. And she's like,
Wow.
Mhm.
she goes, only 2 people in this world know about that. I go,
Wow.
well, you got a guided angel soul that was part of you for a brief time that is still guiding you.
Wow. That's beautiful.
The
Yeah.
only person that knew about it was her mom and dad.
Wow.
That she lost a child at 3 some months. And it's like, wow. I didn't know this, but like I said, I just started seeing this. the soul presented as like a 4 to 6 year old child, and I definitely heard, "Hi, mommy," and she's like, "Oh, no one knew that, only a few people in
That's
this world knew
wild.
that." That can be naughty. That's fine. That's part of living, having fun.
Yeah.
But
Well,
oh
you
my
need
God,
some naughty, right?
but bless you. That was, yeah. I don't really know, but definitely connected. There's always a reason because I was sensing male. I mean, we've all had different.
Miscarriage.
But
Yeah, it could be a miscarriage, but
it really doesn't matter. But we definitely saw the son. It could have been a past life.
sorry, that was the wrong one. Yeah, absolutely. But probably
It's like when I was when I was married and we tried to have a kid. My ex-wife had a few miscarriages before the third one stuck. It was maybe a month or month and a half. We got a pregnancy test, and all of a sudden, it absorbed or gone.
right. Yeah, that happens for sure.
Yeah.
So, I hope everybody had fun today. We got
Thank
some
you
good
so
information,
much,
didn't
Scott.
we?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Blessings.
Blessings to all of you in the chat room. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's always wonderful to have Scott here.
And blessings to Scott.
And blessings to you, Scott. And where are you up next, Scott? What's your next show?
I guess not a ton planned this week. Mystery Theater got canceled because Andrew is busy. So I guess Tuesday I'm going to be on Valerie Dragon Crystals.
Right.
So I'm going to be on her channel reading some how we can transcend and some politics probably.
Transcending and politics. I love that.
That'll be interesting.
We try to start out how we can just transcend our souls and our lives, and then whatever goes.
Got to keep it balanced, right?
Yeah, right.
Everything has to be
opposite
balanced.
ends.
Right? I love it. Well, Tuesday, our 3:00 show on Tuesday is going to be what is it? I can't even remember.
Equinoxes.
The equinox and solstices, and whatever I guess we need to know about those. And then Friday we have Wisdom Keeper Jones, so that's going to be another fun 3:00 Friday afternoon. So that'll be fun.
I'll probably be on the road listening yet.
Good. We always like that. Yes. Anyway, goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We love you all. Please shine your light this week. God knows this world needs it, and really love it to all the women in Iran and all those fighting for freedom in Iran.
And thank you all for being here and sending lots and lots of unconditional love.
Lots and lots of love to all of you. Thank you so much.
That sun card did come out quite a bit today. That's all.
That's good.
Spreading your light. Yep.
That's right.
Shine your light. Right.